CPAC. How you doing? Didn't anybody tell you that you're supposed to be canceled?
You funny son of a bitch. You serious? Maybe he thought he was on the set of SNL looking at a bunch of people wearing Nikes while they were drinking Starbucks, wearing a bunch of Young Pharaoh merch. That last one was actually a conservative performer who was going to perform at CPAC but was canceled by Republicans because of tweets. The right has engaged plenty in cancel culture.
This is one of the great moments of crisis in American history. We're facing a fight for the republic itself, and we are facing an unprecedented alliance of radical liberals and the biggest, most powerful corporations in the history of the world. They are standing together. You know who I mean. People like Google, Facebook, have you heard of them? Twitter. These companies have more power than any companies in American history, and they're allying with the radical left to try to impose their agenda on this country. They want to run this country, and if we don't do something, they are going to. And we've got a word for that. It's called oligarchy.
Oligarchy. I think his voice kind of does that sometimes. I noticed that with Josh Hawley. I love the radical left rhetoric again. Trump actually paid 20 to 30 million to Facebook and Twitter for ads. Facebook came under scrutiny for not addressing conservative misinformation. Zuckerberg was invited to the White House for a private dinner. After this private dinner, somebody confronted him about a deal being made, and of course it wasn't true. There was no deal, at least according to Mark Zuckerberg. These companies will side with whoever is in control. it's just fact. Even if they do get off to a rocky start or have a tumultuous relationship altogether, they definitely want favor. Or maybe he just saw Mike Pence in the crowd. They really tried to cancel him.
Tell you, speaking of being canceled, the last 6 weeks, the radical left, their corporate allies, the liberal media, have tried to cancel me, censor me, expel me, shut me down, stop me from representing the people of Missouri, stop me from representing you, and guess what? I'm here today, I'm not going anywhere, and I'm not backing down.
That man is so brave. So brave. Well, let's see why they're trying to expel you or cancel you, whatever terms you used. It's because you were a major proponent in the election fraud lie. On November 6th, you were on Tucker Carlson. You were saying that they were bringing ballots in the middle of the night in Detroit. If you would have done any research, you would have saw there was camera equipment. A lot of these counting stations or whatever they were being broadcast live, real time. And then you said we're seeing the same thing in Philadelphia. And then on the first day of December, you were asked, was the election rigged? You said, we'll see. You refused to confirm cabinet members because you said we're not sure who the president will be. Sorry, I'm having some kimchi. It's dinner time. And then on Laura Ingraham, you said it was too soon to call Joe Biden the president. At the end of December, this is the same guy who, at the end of December, December 30th, sent emails to his supporters saying one vote means one vote. December 30th. On December 15th, this is funny, after the electors met, there was some interview and he said, if Joe Biden is sworn in as president, if. This is a guy who raised his fist in solidarity to people who were literally there at the Capitol to stop the steal. Hawley refused to call Biden president, validating the he didn't really win narrative, and helped spread lies like votes were being added, justifying the fraud aspect. Trying to portray the issue as a defense of election integrity is just bullshit. Bullshit. There was actual election interference in 2016.
I right? You're not going to back down. You're not going anywhere. I just want to say to those people who say to us, oh, you're the past. Your moment has passed. It's over. It's Joe Biden's America now. I just want to say, we're not the past. We're the future. We represent the future of this country. We represent the next generation of this country. We represent what's coming next. And there is no way that we're going to back down. We're not going to back down to the woke mob. We're not going to back down to the cancel culture. We're not going to be told what we can say or do. But listen, we've got to be honest, and we got to face the challenges that are in front of us. And I tell you what, you know this or you wouldn't be here. You know that we are facing a crisis in our country.
Oh gosh. Okay, so Josh Hawley said, we are the future. Who? Republicans? Conservatives? Because your party is literally whatever Trump wants it to be. Where do your morals and principles lie? I mean, Trump is not emblematic of the Republican Party or conservatives. George Will said bluntly that he's not conservative. Just straight out, not conservative. And this guy literally wrote the book on conservatism. Mike Lee said that his viewpoints and Trump's diverge at separate times or sometimes on the same subject, but he would consider most of what he does conservative. That's a tacit endorsement. Way to go. I mean, it's one word, it's Trump. I mean, it's your platform. There was a professor who said that the person who leads the Republican Party is going to shape what it looks like. That might be true. But I mean, you can't base your party off a few foundational elements like conservatives do, or conservative Christians do with abortion, but refuse to even look at a nominee like Bob Christ, who is a pro-life Democrat, went to a Catholic college, very devout Christian, or maybe he's Catholic, I don't know, but he's religious. He's a very humble, very nice guy, Democrat. And once again, we see this not backing down to the woke mob. What does that even mean? What does it even mean? LGBTQ rights, women's rights. The left Dems have fought for good causes like the Civil Rights Act or the Voting Act or the GI Bill. The GI Bill. It's shitty, overreaching blanket statements like that you throw out that are the problem.
And that's what we're facing in America right now. And we've got a basic choice. We can have a republic where the people rule, or we can have an oligarchy where big tech and the liberals rule. And that is the choice. That is the challenge that we face today. It's a perilous moment. We have to stand up and take our stand on the Constitution of the United States and the Declaration of Independence. Because last time I checked, the Declaration of Independence said that our inalienable rights to life and liberty come from God and not from government. Is that right? I mean, am I forgetting something? And I also thought, last I checked, I thought that the Declaration said that our rights come from God, not from Google. Is that right? I mean, last I checked. But that's the fight of our time, to make the rule of the people an actual...
All right. There's an argument to be made about the power of big tech corporations. Actually, there's a lot of progressives that fight for that and actually advocate for that cause. Breaking up big tech and reining in its power. That's a polar opposite of your party, and they agree with you 100%. But with the way you're doing it, the hyperbole about the left and the big tech, which are these entities that are going to distinguish the rights of people. Come on, man. Stop. That's just pure hyperbole. You're doing it for the crowd. I get it, but come on.
Thing again, to restore the sovereignty of the American people. You know what? That's always been the fight. That's the fight of liberty. That's been the fight of liberty since the beginning of human history. You've always got a small group of people who think they know best, and they ought to be in charge, and they ought to be able to tell us what to think and do. And today, that's the big corporations and the liberal elites. That's the oligarchy. And what are we fighting for? It's the same thing our founding fathers fought for. We're fighting for the...
What is that?